fire, fire, fire. Alright, let's watch it. The problem with Twitch. I'm ready. I'm a problem.
So we all know what Twitch is. No, I'm not referring to your body's primitive reaction when you heard the rumor your parents can see your search history from the internet bill. Don't worry, I heard and believed the same lie growing up, but they never did discover that I was looking up Tomb Raider 1996 boobs.
Damn,
but anyway, Twitch, if you
cultured.
don't know, is a live streaming platform that has existed since 2007, when it was originally named Justin.tv.
Justin from Justin.tv. With Justin TV, you can watch, broadcast, and share live video, and chat with other viewers.
That's amazing.
But then quickly
man. How
turned
old
into a
is this
place
shit?
where people would stream things like anime and other shows like 2005's Hell's Kitchen.
God, I love that show. It's so good. Kitchen Nightmares is so good.
Those were the days. People were also a lot more openly racist on the platform back then, and Hell's Kitchen would
I don't know if he addresses what's been happening recently, but
make a return on Twitch in 2018 as a staple for reaction content. But when Justin TV was renamed to Twitch in 2014, around that time it was primarily known for streaming gaming content. I personally remember watching Maya Night Live back then. God, was that a time to be alive. But in the same year, the platform was bought by the man with a hairline of steel, Jeff Bezos, or Amazon, for $970 million. And things went from there. Twitch got a complete makeover,
God,
and it was
old
no
Twitch,
longer
man.
known as just a niche platform for streaming games. It gradually
is that? Hold on.
over, and it was no
Is that Swifty? That's Swifty, I think.
longer known as just a niche
Oh my
platform for
God,
streaming
it's Espen
games.
and Hassan!
It
I
gradually
didn't even
grew
see
more
that in
popular over
depth.
the years, to the point where in current times, most
God,
people
I'm so
don't get the old references from Twitch, like Forcing CD, Forcing Boys.
It was a better time when Forsen streamed. Honestly, I think it's Forsen's fault that Twitch has gone to shit.
The Two of Wives,
Forcing
Use the Shovel
Boys,
Soda,
Forcing
PVC,
Son of
Where the
a-
Fuck I Am,
Where the
Shroud has a fat cock,
word on the
Dinner,
street
cock
is
dinner.
that you got a fat cock.
Lord rest his soul, Billy Harrington, and using the actual syntax for emotes in vocal and social conversations. Remember Pepe Hands, Pepe Sad, Omega Lol, and Pog?
Fucking boomer AF, man.
Spelled P-O-G, not the other way. Nobody says any of that anymore. And if you remember a single one of those references, you've
Use the
probably
shovel.
already started contributing to that 401k, buddy. You
No, I watched Soda Poppin' because I was a Feral Druid / Resto Druid player, and I wanted to learn to play Feral, and I watched Soda Poppin' play. I'm not that old, I swear to God!
old fuck. And if you don't remember him, here's some Minecraft parkour gameplay. I know I have to jingle the keys every now and again just to keep your attention, but more people found
true.
Twitch. It absolutely exploded in 2020 due to COVID, where people for the first time discovered the beauty of watching streams and maybe even starting their own. And in the present day, you now have a whole host of content and personalities on the
This was
platform.
insane.
You didn't even have to stream games anymore. In fact, most streamers on Twitch don't even touch games.
Caught!
They just react to YouTube slop for a few hours, like police body cam footage.
Okay, I don't do that often. I think last time we watched body cam footage was like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. Like,
But Twitch, like every platform, has its fair share of problems. The doomers wishing their Amazon overlords had never acquired it, and it should
True.
go back to just being about games. You've got people that are just in general disgusted by the platform due to some of the content on it, like
We
the
went to Home
supposed
Depot.
streaming boober meta, and the
I
fact
can't believe this was a thing, man.
the platform is more political than it has ever been, with many expressing Twitch has a bias when it comes to certain Twitch streamers.
Bro, we're never beating the Hassan runs Twitch allegations after this. This is crazy. Oh my God.
And the
This
Twitch
is
CEO
crazy.
may be a gooner himself.
Oh, he's absolutely a gooner. If his wife's okay with it, like, whatever, dude. He has a wife, right? Or is he not? I don't think he has a wife. I don't know. Well, okay, goon to your heart's content. You're an adult.
Which, you know, fair play, as long as the wife knows. Recently, you've got suspected viewbotting, which started a whole kerfuffle. But Twitch has a lot of problems. But what else are you going to use to watch live streams? Fucking YouTube? It's probably easier to find the Ark of the Covenant than somebody streaming on YouTube.
That's why I hate YouTube streaming. It's like discoverability is non-existent. You already have to have an established, like, you know, thing. It's worse than Twitch, unironically. Twitch is already abysmal with the Kingmaker system and having to find people right from the bottom all the way to the top, and then those people at the top 10 are the ones sucking up all the new viewers, and like, because you don't want to scroll down that far. YouTube is even more abysmal because people don't even know where the fuck to look for people in YouTube Live. Like, people that you aren't sub to, I mean.
Except from the most obvious people that do stream on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or maybe Kick, that has the reputation of harbouring all the
No, thank
controversial
you.
streamers that are banned on every other platform. Or maybe some would prefer the rigor mortis-ridden corpse that is Mixer. And I'm not even going to mention LiveLeak. I think the first live streaming platform to implement semen racing will have my undivided attention. But I've been on Twitch for a
Ew.
while,
He really is a femboy.
and today I wanted to talk about the problems and common critiques it faces, and answer the question if the platform truly deserves it.
Thank you so much for the sub. Oh my. Let me put you on the chalkboard.
Oh my
Probably the most
God,
prominent problem
chalkboard.
and loudest critique you will hear about Twitch is regarding some of the content on the platform. And by that I mean the content that is mainly within the just chatting or the hot tub section of Twitch, which the latter section was created due to the
boobies.
fact people hated that this was being put on the platform, and people started throwing their shit at Twitch for it, because some of the streamers were taking it a bit too far.
That's not even that bad. I'll still never forget full on seeing VTubers like fully naked on Twitch.
So Twitch responded by creating a whole section for it. Some of these people now aren't even streaming in a hot tub pool or anything. Why is there a monkey? But
Oh, because frick the hose.
the just chatting and hot tub section of Twitch has somewhat of a negative stigma surrounding it due to these categories being used to host suggestive, borderline NSFW content, or as some may say, softcore porn. Many of these being female streamers, and the
Ooh,
occasional guys doing
titties.
this just to make fun of the trend.
I got a mogul move for you.
Did he just fart? Ew! Ew!
Ew. Not yet. I'm trying to though.
But
I'm
many put
trying.
these streams and people under one title, which is something you've all probably heard before, which is e-thot, which is used to describe things like these female streamers, and is used for people that use
Oh,
their
yeah,
bodies as their
Amaranth.
primary content to make money or garner attention. But this has been on Twitch for a while, and it's come in many forms over
I've
the
been called
years.
an e-thot.
First you had the chalkboard meta,
Thank you so much for the sub. Oh my god, guys.
Oh my god!
Yes. Let me put you on the chalkboard.
Oh my
then the
god, look at
90%
that
face cam, 10%
yes!
gameplay meta, then the body painting meta, then the mirror meta, then the transparent
Oh my god, this chick actually, like, the only thing separating her butthole was a string.
chair meta,
That was
and the
insane.
green screen meta, then
That
just
was strong.
straight up being naked and only showing so much so you don't get banned, and then the hot tub meta. There has been a lot of metas over the years to
Yep.
capitalize on this infinite money glitch.
And it's funny because when that happened, like when that went crazy and they did the whole nudity is okay thing, I got a lot of fucking hate as a woman streaming. I would have to say, like, no, I'm not a woman, and they said, like, you're a fucking liar, you sound like one. I'd be like, what the fuck do you mean I sound like one?
Many patched over the years due to Twitch's updates to their terms of service. Some rules Twitch had to walk back themselves due to the fact everybody hated them, especially with the artistic nudity rule. I
Yeah.
get how body painting would be considered art, but this, I don't know. I wouldn't correlate this with a Matisse painting, but yeah. But this contributed to what many refer to
Artistic.
as the just chatting problem, or more prominently known, the e-thot epidemic, where most streams in the just chatting or hot tub section are somewhat explicit, suggestive, and some of them do advertise their OnlyFans on there. Now, apart from the obvious problem of a...
You can't directly advertise your OnlyFans, you have to put a link tree in it. That's like actually a rule. You know, I don't know why all the e-thots use Linktree, is you can't actually put OnlyFans directly through the Twitch site. It's like, you'll get banned for that.
Platform that should be safe for kids 13 and up, with this type of content being shown, some without age verification, and being environments where some come to tenderize their meat instead of the conventional websites. But this would also create a negative stigma for female streamers in general, who got lumped in with these types of streamers where...
Unironically, that day that happened, we got so many people coming in and fucking calling me disgusting and I deserved to be fucking assaulted and shit. It was actually foul.
Some assume all female streamers are like this. Or heaven forbid there is a centimetre of cleavage on screen, and they obviously must be doing this intentionally. And unfortunately this has contributed to a lot of harassment some females face on the platform. Now, do I personally have a problem with these streams? Streams where they are intentionally doing this type of content, fully well knowing what they are doing, with the purpose of monetary gain? Well, I don't think I've ever had interest in watching these types of live streams, which for the most part is borderline just...
Why would you watch it if you could just go and find yourself some corn and beat off to it? That's what I've always said. Like, what's the appeal? Is the appeal is that they're, like, not doing anything and they're just walking around naked? It's just extra work? Like, what is going on, man? Softcore has its own movements too. But you can look it up! Like, why do you need this? Like, it's not like they're blasting their hoo-ha on stream, right? They're just walking around in their underwear. Voyeurism? I guess. I don't get it.
Softcore porn for 4 hours, when I can just go to another website which specializes in this type of content, see the whole Dark Souls naked run, and after 2 minutes wallow in self-pity. But hey, some people are there for the personality, and to simulate what it's like to be a cook if they actually had a girlfriend. Or maybe it's something to do with edging, I guess, or maybe just like female attention, whatever reason, I don't relate to it. A lot of the people viewing anyway are from countries where porn is banned.
Oh yeah, wait, that's actually a really good point. But I'd love to see the statistics of how many people watch from illegal countries where you can't look at porn.
Like Turkey, and Twitch is the only way they can have access to it.
Wow.
But there's 3 takes people commonly have going against this type of content. 1, they blame the streamer themselves, commonly saying they shouldn't be doing this type of content on this platform. And
no, it's on Twitch. Twitch allows it, it's not on the creator.
Take advantage of people that are lonely and desperate for monetary gain. 2, they blame the people that are supporting them and actively gooning to their streams, which I think no pep talk in the world will persuade them not to do this.
Exactly.
And you're probably going to have to persuade the final boss that is the Twitch CEO himself.
The Twitch... When I saw this clip of him flicking through his, like, what is it called, like, Instagram, Twitch, Reel Fusion, you know, the storyboard, and it's just, like, all women, and then, like, 3 of them are in their fucking underwear.
As well. And 3, blame the platform for hosting this type
of
content and not taking action against it. I personally side with the 3rd point, to be honest. Yes, the streamers know what they are doing. Some are constantly trying to push the line till they eventually break the terms of service of Twitch, in which Twitch will probably respond by adding a new rule, and to say no, you cannot deploy something equivalent to a periscope just so your viewers can see your ass. And I think at most times they only get a day to a week ban. Many people do defend these types of streams, saying you must be gay if you don't like this, or you must hate women. No, I just don't expect this type of content on a platform that used to be just for gaming. And once again, the age rating is 13+. Like Jackmate, I would expect this, but not Twitch. But if there's nothing being done about these streams except the occasional ban for a day or 2...
VTubers get banned for longer. That's what's the most egregious thing about it. I don't hate these women that are doing this. It's that it's unfair. I don't blame the women because clearly Twitch has an agenda.
And some people in the category are
don't hate
forcing the Twitch TOS
I think
to
it's
see
kinda
what they can get
funny.
away with, which then other streamers will copy, and then that'll be the meta for the next season. I'm pretty sure it's a platform
Twitch
problem
sucks
at that
for-
point. I mean, the streamer Mogpie that has set the meta for many of these streamers
The
got
green
banned
screen ass.
multiple times in the year of 2023, some within the same week, and only got a 2-day ban at.
And what I don't understand is why do they get bans and then they only get 1-day bans and it's not stacking? I thought it's stacked. Like if you get banned for a day, the next one is 3 and then 7 and then 2. 2 weeks. Like I don't understand this logic. Oh, I did this within 1 month? Literally 1 month. Not even a month actually. This is like 2 weeks after, 3 weeks after, and then for some reason, Sarue humping a fucking, Bloodborne character in a video game as her 3D model, she gets suspended for like a fucking week or a month, I forget.
Most.
How does
There
that
did
make any
used to be a rule where
sense?
if you got banned multiple times in the same year, you just get perma-banned off the platform.
week,
But to
yeah.
be fair,
What the
that obviously
fuck?
doesn't exist anymore, because some of these streamers have been banned numerous times in
Yeah,
the same year. Yeah, you
multiple.
can blame the gooners, but they're never gonna stop. You can blame the streamers taking advantage of a money glitch that has yet to be
Gooners.
patched or will ever get patched. But at that point, I personally think you should be hating the game, not the player. Because what are you gonna do? Call them a whore? And then hope they instantly turn to Christianity? And then become a celibate or something? But to their credit, at least some of them do age gate their streams, which is like a band-aid approach, but the platform itself is enabling this, with poor punishment and not enforcing rules to counter this type of content. But another thing Twitch does get a bad rep for is its moderation itself.
Thank you.
Brother, this
Guy stinks!
So another common critique of Twitch is that the moderation, or in other words, the actual staff of Twitch, that oversee the platform and are usually involved in tasks like banning or removing users or
Moderation.
streamers that go against the terms of service of the platform. And they do this to keep the platform a somewhat safe place. But they do get a lot of shit, especially recently, due to the fact that many claim and believe that Twitch staff are biased to certain streamers, and when it comes to following their own rules and being fair, they are rather inconsistent. But does Twitch deserve this criticism?
Politics aside, like I said, I think it is so egregious that VTubers for some reason get put on a far harsher pedestal than the girls who unironically are sitting in their underwear in hot tubs or like shaking their ass, and they get banned for a day or 3 days, and then they keep doing it and nothing happens.
Or is it just completely unfounded? Well, the fact I'm fucking talking about it means there's some contention to that point, you dumbass. Whilst Twitch does not publicly
I'm not
talk about
dumb.
their banning decisions, and there's been one recorded event of a Twitch staff getting involved for their own benefit, I can see why people think there is a bias based on reoccurring patterns,
Yeah.
like the inconsistency with bans.
This was actually a crime. And it definite ban because some guy tricked him in chat to look up a gif of a horse with a cock. Like, are you kidding me? Fucking free my man Forsen. That was disgusting. And they only unbanned him because people are like, that's really unfair. Yeah, the horse incident. For those that don't know, Forsen back in 2020, he got banned. Permanently banned. Fucking permanently banned. Over a horse cock that he didn't even mean to, like, open on stream. I'd understand, okay, maybe you get dinged for a day, so, like, hey, you should be more careful. Indefinite? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Some people like to use the example recently that occurred with this streamer Extra
my
Emily,
God, not
whose
Emily,
content
dude.
is similar to that of an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay. Yes? Uh-huh. Oh, I'm cooking steak.
But pretty
What?
entertaining. But a lot of streamers get in trouble for streaming whilst driving, mainly due to the fact they look
It's
at
a
their phone
safety.
whilst driving to look at their chat, which is obviously dangerous. But Extra Emily didn't even do that. She was messing with her camera whilst driving and flips the camera at the exact time she runs a red light. And basically self-reports herself But obviously this was dangerous and against the law, potentially shows she was distracted whilst driving. And then after it happens, she gives the excuse that this happens all the time, and that the
Why wouldn't you be like, uh-oh, oops, I didn't mean to do that? You know, like, why would you double down?
these lights take a while to turn or something.
That happens all the time. In Austin, you know, like the stoplights here are really long.
Even if that's true, why would you not just say, oops, I didn't mean to run the red light, I got distracted? Why would you double down? And again, VTubers don't endanger people's lives! I won't say she could have killed someone, because sure, like, people run red lights all the time. Okay, whatever, like, I'm not gonna say that. But it's like, showing hips, 7-day ban, running a red line live on stream and then making excuses for it. You're good. You're okay.
But as a result of this, she only received a 1-day ban.
1 day.
And then, to her credit, when she returned, turned her next stream into a learning experience where she completed a driving school. But she did get banned for looking at her phone in 2023 for 3 days, but for this time only a day. But after the latest ban, people were quick to point out the ban should have been much longer. Even people like Stable Ronaldo voicing their opinion. Someone who had been banned for reckless driving 10 months prior for 3 days after going over a speed bump too fast to the point where the car lifted up in the air.
Holy,
And he
that's
thought
dangerous.
she should have been banned for the same amount of time he was.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Said, I'm running this red light, but when I hit a pothole going the speed limit...
don't give a
I hit a pothole, by the way, chat, I hit a pothole with Adapt, going the speed limit. It wasn't even a pothole, it was a speed bump. So my car went like this, and then all of a sudden, I'm banned for a week.
This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. She deserves to get banned for over a fucking month.
This and other instances, like when Pokimane pulled up the hub...
He's allowed to be mad, for sure. I think that it should be equal justice, and that's what I'm asking for. Fucking consistency.
by accident live on stream.
Wait, we saw this, right?
What did she do?
Month.
This and other instances, like when Pokimane pulled up the hub by accident live.
How do you accidentally pull up? How? How do you... Muscle memory?
Live on stream.
Wait, we saw...
Why would you drag it over from... Had an open tab? Look. She drags it
live
over.
on stream.
Wait,
She drags it over right there in this frame, see? She drags it over and brings it up. So she had it open! Why? Why would you have porn open while you're streaming? What kind of porn was it, chat? Do you guys know? It's for later! Bro, never in my life, man. Never in my life.
We saw this, right?
And only got a warning for it.
A warning? And Horson gets indefinitely banned? That's fucking criminal. Horson. The Horson incident. He got indefinitely banned. Bro, they fucking hate him, man.
Compared to when Forsen pulled up a gif of the famous horse, also by accident but got banned for a whole month. Which has led to a lot of people believing that Twitch are more lenient when it comes to female streamers.
And bigger streamers. Pokimane is bigger than, fucking Forsen. Or at least I remember it being that way, yeah.
More than their male counterparts. The main
That's
comment being
cringe.
Twitch staff are simps, which at this point this argument has been occurring
But
for
they hate anime girls. I'm kidding. I don't know that, but like, you know, like if we're gonna make that argument and make it a, you know, like a comparison, I do think they don't like VTubers that much.
5 years now, due to Twitch's
weird.
confusing banning process, where ban durations seem to differ for the same rule being broken. And they also bring up the point I discussed earlier, where some streamers in the just chatting section only get banned for a day for sexually explicit content, and some banned multiple times within the same week. But once again, there is no concrete evidence Twitch has a bias towards gender due to the fact they do not advertise information regarding bans or the banning process. But there are past events that have showed Twitch staff have involved themselves personally in the streaming environment and have even offered advantages to some streamers. A key example being Hassan. Not the Hassan you're thinking of, but he was a former member of the Twitch team and was the director of strategic partnerships. But in 2020, it came out that he had been accused of sexual misconduct and abuse of power. Launched by the streamer VO, and then later other female streamers who expressed the same situation with the same staff member.
Wait, what? You can just get a pass like that? I'm totally messing with you. You're awesome. I've only known you not messing around with a pass is completely open to you. Oh my god, lol. Oh my god, this is such a Discord kitten moment. Oh my god, XD.
It was claimed that he leveraged his role at Twitch, where he would promise things like perks and promotional items in return for sexual favors. Sexual favors he would still conduct even when the other party was saying no. He also shared explicit images to other people without consent and disclosed confidential Twitch information, in which an internal investigation by Twitch was launched, and he was subsequently removed from his role, but he faced no legal repercussions. Obviously, not all Twitch staff are like this. This is a single person, but at the time, this event was used as a main point that Twitch staff do get personally involved and do have a bias, when they're supposed to be the complete opposite. But another point that people use that Twitch staff are biased is within the political sphere of Twitch.
The RimWorld
yes,
OST
over the
is so
years,
good.
politics on the Twitch platform has grown significantly. It's not hard to find most streamers nowadays sticking their wrinkly, depraved toe into the political pool to give their opinion on the state of politics, in which I promptly click off the stream because it's not bedtime yet, and as I've said before, explaining politics to me is like giving me a lethal dose of NyQuil.
True.
But to some people's dismay, politics has been thriving on the Twitch platform for a while now. You have Hassan previously.
Was there a politics topic on Twitch? It was made to demonetize content like, for example, Hassan and Asmongold, so that they don't get in trouble with Amazon for running ads on political stuff. That was the original reason why they made a category. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Destiny, everyone's favorite cockroach king.
It's like hot tubs and pools also don't get ads because it's sexual content.
Gold, where some people are no longer interested in WoW gameplay and just want him to talk about politics.
I mean, WoW kind of blows. Also, I mean, I don't blame him.
You also have streamers like, yeah, I don't know that many political streamers. I'm only here for the gameplay and slop reaction, but especially recently, politics has started a fiery war on the platform.
Oh shit!
And believe me, you cannot escape it. It is everywhere, and has lasted almost a year now. It's basically a Blood Gulch skirmish at this point. You have Hassan versus H3 versus iDubbbz for some reason, versus Asmongold versus Hassan's friends or something, versus Twitch itself. But basically, everyone is throwing their shit at everyone, and some people believe Twitch has had a big hand in it, and as a result has led to their own YouTube adpocalypse of sorts.
Yeah.
But what is this whole drama about?
I don't know.
No, wrong channel. I'm a political infant at this point. I'm probably gonna load up
Based.
Rust to learn my 3x3 has been fucking raided after this. But why is Twitch being brought
Based
up
Rust
in this
enjoyer.
situation? Well, once again, they were accused of being biased towards other streamers based on their political beliefs. And again, their banning system being very inconsistent. People thought that the Twitch staff had a bias towards streamers like Hassan, who on stream said killing one US senator would solve a problem.
Cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. Okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott.
And people were outraged he only received a day ban for this.
Yeah,
and
that's
people think for
crazy.
what he has done, he should have been banned longer, due to the fact other streamers get banned a lot longer for things others view as less significant as this. Many using VTubers getting banned for like 2 weeks as an example. And some
Fair. Thank you.
People use the fact that the Twitch team and CEO have publicly wished Hassan a personal happy birthday. And it's uncommon for them to do this, so people use this as evidence that they must have a bias towards Hassan himself or certain political beliefs.
Birthday to you.
What the fuck?
Happy birthday to you.
The most rabid Redditors just clipped this, and they're gonna use this permanently to be like, see, I told you, he's got banning powers.
I don't think it's like that, but they really like him. Again, I don't give a fuck about Hassan, but like, it's weird. It's cringe, man. I'd like to believe, I hope I'm right in that Hassan, it just makes them a lot of money and they have their own bias. That's it. I just hope it's like that. If it turns out, if we ever get any information, I take that back, whatever. Like, I understand, but I like to give the benefit of the doubt that they just really like him, they like his politics, and they just want him to succeed, and they don't want to ban him because, you know, they lose money on that too.
Asmongold going as far to say the team is compromised after things like another streamer, who seemingly has the same political takes Hassan does, never got banned for essentially putting a 30k bounty on Asmon's head. But some do see this as a joke.
30k to anyone who'll make this dipshit disappear.
If I said that about denims, I get banned instantly.
And make Eve's breasts bigger. Okay, you have to do both.
Twitch's moderation and Twitch's team, I think, is compromised. I think that they're biased, and I think that they don't have any principles at all other than responding to controversies.
But Twitch moderation obviously has a problem with consistency, and I think the criticism they receive especially...
Why don't you run a little experiment? I value my sanity and being able to stream a lot more.
Especially regarding their banning process is completely valid. I think people that break their terms of service should be banned promptly, fairly, and given a duration in accordance with the weight of what they have done. The banning process, all in all, doesn't make any sense. Some streamers get banned for longer when they did something on the same level or even less serious than the other streamer, so of course people are going to think Twitch has a bias, or just an extremely incompetent staff team. So the last problem I wanted to talk about is viewbotting. And if you don't know what that is, it is basically fake viewers, mainly used to inflate the views on a Twitch stream.
YouTube does this too, unfortunately.
Many other platforms face the same issue. I think even Kick had a problem with it.
Yeah,
all you had
Kick
to do
did.
was open the stream on multiple tabs, and each tab would count as a viewer. But you can pay certain websites to increase your viewership or someone else's, so it makes it look like you have more viewers than you actually do.
I will never understand this. People can point it out instantly when someone viewbots.
Now, viewbotting, like many of the other topics I've talked about in this video, is
Such
hard
a waste
to
of
prove.
money too.
Probably the
God.
only way to get 100% concrete evidence somebody is viewbotting is either if they admit to it, or the provider of the bots shows they were bought and told to target said streams. But there are other things people look at to see if people are viewbotting. Mainly they look at viewer engagement. Mainly if somebody has 50,000 people watching them and the chat is moving like a snail with arthritis, either most of the viewers are like Helen Keller, or they may be under suspicion they are using bots.
This isn't always true for every single category. I know there's a lot of ASMR streamers, like VTubers and like, you know, FlashTubers, that stream ASMR, and a lot of chatters are beating their meat and not watching the stream and engaging with it. Yeah, I never think of ASMR as like viewbotting, because like realistically, like there's maybe like 100 people that are typing and then the other like 900 people are beating off.
Because most bots do not interact with the stream like a normal chatter would. Now, why is viewbotting bad on the Twitch platform? Well, it can be used against streamers.
Yes.
For example, if you apply to be a partner on Twitch and you finally hit the required viewers, if Twitch thinks some of those are bots, they will deny your partner application.
That actually happened to me when I was doing partner push publicly, and I stated partner push. I had some guy maliciously viewbotting me back in, I I want to say May through July, maybe even August of 2023, I think it was. And follow botting me too. And they were doing it maliciously because they didn't want me to get partner. And they started taunting me in the chat and saying, like, you're being a dumb, stupid bitch. You're never gonna get partner. At one point. It was, I think, a couple of people, but I think it was, like, a total up to that point. Like, maybe one or two. It was August, September. Yeah, I think it was, like, late summer.
And in
It
some
sucks.
cases, even ban you. So it can be potentially used to remove somebody off the platform. Bots can also be used for things like hate raids, going into someone's Twitch chat and spamming messages or racial slurs. I think
Yeah.
even recently a Twitch game show had to switch Twitch channels due to the fact their stream was being inflated with view bots, which you would think is a good thing. I personally would spam the add button and hope the view bots don't have ad block, but they basically had around 100,000 viewers and the chat was basically comatose. So
Yeah, it's a bad look on them because it looks like they're view botting. I totally get that and I respect that decision. And I also feel bad for them. Because some people get maliciously view botted, or it's people who think that it's a good idea to bot their favorite VTuber so that more people get to see them, but then realistically what it actually does is impair the VTuber, and people obviously can tell that you're VTubing.
to prevent allegations of viewbotting themselves and potentially getting banned, they switched the channel. And you've also had streamers accusing other streamers of viewbotting, specifically the top echelons of Twitch, where XQC was accusing Kai Sennett's associates of viewbotting due to the fact they had a high viewer count but low subscribers and low viewer engagement, and most of the people watching were not logged in, and this caused a bunch of drama and commotion because it is a serious accusation, and if in some way it is proven to be true, your streaming career might be over. Nobody is gonna...
No, it's not over. I think it's just people move on. People kind of forget about that shit. Some VTubers' PCs can't handle view-botting. Oh, yeah! When I was getting follow-botted, so what they would do is that it would spam my Chatterino so hard, and it would flood my notifications so hard, I had to turn them off, but even then, my computer would start struggling. Because it would start spamming the ever-loving fuck out of my Chatterino.
Let you live that down. But obviously, once again, it's very hard to prove,
Yeah.
and some of the viewers may have
But this
not
was
just
like
been
2
logged
years ago
in,
almost.
or sourced from external websites through things like embedded streams, which are very annoying back in the day, especially when I was trying to find a Warwick jungle build and somebody's stream just popped up on the bottom left,
Yeah.
which just because you're on that website does count to them as a viewer, and was previously used to inflate people's viewership, but what...
Yeah, Fextra Life. I can't stand Fextra Life. If he was honest about it, I'd be more inclined to be like, okay, well, you know, it is what it is. It's your business model. But he's like, no, it's actually real viewers. No!
Can Twitch do about this as a platform?
You can suck
Well, they
a
have
dick.
been legally taking down bot provider websites, which are very easy to find apparently,
That's
and
good.
not cheap, but they also purge accounts which are suspected to be bots. But it is a problem that is very hard to counter, and it can seriously affect streamers on the platform.
It's a very malicious thing to do.
so awful.
So in conclusion, Twitch does have a lot of problems. Some of its content doesn't match the environment Twitch is said to have, and its banning system leaves a lot to be desired. I do think they need to start explaining in detail why they have banned someone, and more detail around the process, especially determining the length of the ban, but at the current time with somewhat of an arbitrary banning system, it has rightfully led to a lot of criticism, and Twitch does have a view-botting problem that can be used to target streamers and inflate numbers for others, but I think Twitch is doing the best they can to counter that problem. I think Twitch is still a good platform. It has changed from its original design, but it still hosts a lot of entertaining
It could always be better, man.
people and innovative content. I'm probably gonna go learn my base has been code locked now, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say, and bye-bye.
That was quick. I thought he was gonna yap for another 30 seconds. That was great. Go check him out. Royalty is here. He provides us with excellent React slop chat. You better subscribe right now. I can't subscribe on my Smuggalata channel because then I get spammed with the same videos over and over, even though I've seen them. But I do subscribe on my civilian account, so that counts. Does this make your military account? Yes, my work military account. Said he didn't touch on VR chat mutes. Bro, I think he didn't because it would be even more risk of getting demonetized on YouTube. Like showing them on screen fucking shaking their asses? Yeah, I think that is probably why he didn't.